Literally, debut. It's got to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago. When Caitlin didn't play, or Caitlin's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally go and use Caitlin Clark for the launch of it. And I'm like,
Angel Reese approached the public eye with a startling self-assurance, only to find her anticipated grand entrance had evaporated. Her core misjudgment was a profound belief that the organic, effortless magnetism of a talent like Caitlin Clark could be manufactured. This wasn't about cultivating genuine appeal or skill, but rather an attempt to harness borrowed star power purely through strategic adjacency.
We shall never know peace. At least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out, and I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows, let's say.
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game was meticulously choreographed to be Angel Reese's pivotal moment, a calculated showcase for her burgeoning brand. Her strategy was multi-pronged: debut a Reebok signature shoe, launch an audacious "I'm in your city" campaign explicitly targeting Caitlin Clark's home turf in Indianapolis, and then simply ride the anticipated wave of record-shattering viewership and subsequent merchandise sales. What unfolded, however, was a brutal, real-time lesson in the fundamental inability to artificially generate star power and the inherent peril of constructing an entire marketing edifice upon another individual's undeniable appeal.
Angel, me bound, pray up, Reese. You're only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious CC. You want to pull up with your Billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap. Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious CC don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those type of things. Yes. You hear me? Don't put that with her name at the end of the day. If you be in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be, that ain't nothing to be proud of.
Let's pivot to the central component of this strategic gamble, Angel Reese's flagship Reebok footwear. The Angel Reese 1, introduced in Diamond Dust and Me-Bound's colorways, was heralded as the definitive next evolution in women's athletic footwear. Reebok and Reese strategically timed its major push to coincide with the All-Star Weekend, aiming for peak visibility and market penetration. The critical flaw in this meticulous planning, however, lay in the unforeseen circumstances that rendered this maximum exposure catastrophically ill-timed.
It's one of those things where it's like it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. Whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do everything they can to keep it together because that is where they're going to be at their most relevant.
Reese's entire promotional framework rested on a singular, profound misjudgment: the assumption that Caitlin Clark's highly anticipated all-star participation would automatically generate unprecedented viewership, thereby organically fueling her own shoe sales. The implicit belief was that she could effortlessly leverage the Clark effect, not by enhancing her own performance or crafting an independent resonant narrative, but merely by sharing the same physical space and hoping to capture the residual spotlight from Clark's expected on-court brilliance.
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment, and that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint, it's been Angel.
And this is where the meticulously laid plans dramatically unraveled. Days before the highly anticipated event, a groin injury sidelined Caitlin Clark. This unforeseen development meant the WNBA's unparalleled draw, an athlete whose presence alone could transform an otherwise ordinary midweek fixture into a compelling, nationally televised event, would be entirely absent from play, relegated to the sidelines in civilian attire.
So the WNBA's All-Star game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success? Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only could draw that. So, and this is with all the stars. Remember, guys.
The empirical data, far more compelling than any manufactured narrative, paints an unsparing picture. The 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, featuring Caitlin Clark, captivated an unprecedented 3.44 million viewers, a bona fide cultural phenomenon that permeated mainstream discourse. Yet, leap forward to 2025, with Clark sidelined, the All-Star Game viewership cratered to a mere 2.19 million, a staggering 36% decline. What makes this downturn even more damning is that it occurred in Indianapolis, Clark's literal home turf, at an event explicitly engineered to leverage her colossal appeal. This precipitous drop underscored the sheer fragility of any strategy built on borrowed star power, revealing the profound chasm between genuine attraction and an attempted parasitic gain.
But the WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. FAFO. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up and you need to have a talk with your players.
As the situation unfolded, Angel Reese's meticulously crafted marketing apparatus dissolved before her eyes. Tickets, once projected as high-demand assets, plummeted a shocking 48% the instant Clark's injury was announced, their value eroding from $121 to a mere $64. The free fall demonstrated an undeniable truth. Without the league's singular star, fan enthusiasm for premium pricing evaporated, even on the secondary market. Yet, what truly underscored the profound strategic misjudgment was the continued rollout of Reese's "I'm in Your City" campaign. The sheer audacity of launching a territorial claim over Indianapolis, Caitlin Clark's hometown, while Clark herself was sidelined and unable to compete, highlighted an astonishing disconnect from market realities and basic public relations.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing.
This aggressive campaign involved ubiquitous billboards, an extensive social media blitz, and provocative messaging overtly signaling territorial claims. Images circulated of Reese posing with "I'm in your city" captions, alongside promotional material boldly proclaiming, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap." The critical misjudgment, however, was trying to assert dominance over a territory when its most significant figure was notably absent. This approach didn't convey strength, it projected an image of opportunism, bordering on desperation. Public sentiment swiftly turned hostile, with social media commentary reflecting widespread disdain. Critiques emerged like, "She can't even launch her own brand without orbiting Clark," and cynical observations such as, "More photographers than actual fans." The entire maneuver felt like an unearned victory lap, an attempt to capitalize on a rival's misfortune rather than achieving genuine triumph.
You can barely dribble. You miss layups on purpose, and they record them as me-bounds, rebounds. You be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time. That championship. But what happened to the year after that? She sent you home. You hear me? And wave to your coach. You hear me? At the end of the day.
Consider the inherent irony. Angel Reese seemingly possessed every conceivable tactical advantage that weekend. She was on location in Indianapolis, boldly declaring a takeover. Her signature shoe debuted, accompanied by an aggressive billboard and social media blitz. She even benefited from the All-Star Game being hosted in what she'd momentarily claimed as her city. Yet despite this comprehensive effort, mainstream interest remained conspicuously absent. The WNBA, in a transparent attempt at damage control, tried to reframe the 2025 viewership figures positively by comparing them to the meager 850,000 from 2023, conveniently sidestepping the colossal 2024 Clark-driven record. This glaring omission effectively conceded that without Clark, the league reverted to its pre-phenomenon baseline. What's more telling is that even the Friday night three-point contest and skills challenge, which attracted 1.32 million viewers, a 90% year-over-year increase, wasn't a testament to Reese's draw. It was still the potent, lingering Caitlin Clark effect. Fans tuning in, perhaps subconsciously, in the hope of catching a mere glimpse of the transcendent talent who had single-handedly reshaped the league's trajectory.
Blatant message. A shot across thou bow. All right? And your ship, well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly.
The profound issue at the heart of Angel Reese's strategy transcended mere timing. It exposed a fundamental misunderstanding of what genuinely fuels consumer desire and market demand. She seemingly observed Caitlin Clark's unparalleled success in footwear endorsements and presumed a simple replication was possible. Witnessing Clark's Nike Kobe 5 Pro Tro instantly vanish from shelves, commanding resale prices of $600 for a $190 item, Reese likely envisioned an identical outcome for herself. But here's the crucial distinction she entirely overlooked. Clark's footwear doesn't sell merely because it bears her name. It sells because Clark has cultivated an authentic, profound connection with her audience through her exceptional play, compelling personality, and undeniable authenticity. Clark's monumental $28 million Nike deal over 8 years wasn't merely about financial leverage. It symbolized a major brand recognizing a once-in-a-generation talent poised to fundamentally shift market dynamics. Industry analysts project Clark's forthcoming 2026 signature shoe could evolve into a $100 to $150 million enterprise, a projection rooted not in speculation but in years of verifiable demand evidenced by sold-out venues, unprecedented viewership, and profound fan engagement. In stark contrast, Angel Reese's shoe launch during the All-Star Weekend was met with resounding silence. The Angel Reese 1 debuted to pervasive indifference, promoted through a campaign that regrettably exuded more desperation than genuine market confidence.
There's no comparison between y'all two. You hear me? And she has a $28 million Nike deal. Nike is better than Reebok last time I checked. And Angel, me bound pray up Reese. Last time I checked, you said Indianapolis was racist and they was dangerous. Why did you show up? Because you could have just watched from the crib. You hear me? So let me tell you this. Please stop associating my precious Cece with the trap. She don't know what a trap is. At the end of the day, she might know what a rat trap or mouse trap is, okay? But anything else other than that, please do not. No, we not gonna do that.
The very brand supposedly championing Angel Reese seemed to tacitly acknowledge the strategic dependency. A revealing moment occurred in the Netflix series Power Moves with Shaquille O'Neal, where the NBA icon was filmed discussing the imperative of Reese wearing Reebok while competing against Clark. A blunt admission that Reebok's strategy was to harness Clark's immense appeal. This wasn't about cultivating Reese's unique brand identity. It was a transparent attempt to piggyback on another's momentum. This exposed a truly humbling reality for Reese. Even her primary sponsor appeared to validate that her market relevance was, at least in part, contingent on Caitlin Clark. The entity entrusted with elevating her as an independent star was openly charting courses to exploit someone else's drawing power for product sales. In the aftermath of the All-Star Weekend, Reese's social media post offered a telling glimpse into her mindset. This was the most fun I've had in a while because of the players. Shout out to y'all back to the regularly scheduled program. The deliberate emphasis on players felt like a subtle yet pointed dig at the Indianapolis audience, who paradoxically had shown her more warmth than her controversial campaign perhaps warranted.
So one of his genius decisions was this. Fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of like fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark and like scampering back to get the ball and then shooting again real fast and it just doesn't come anywhere near the hoop. That is, if you haven't seen her play, that's what it is. Put that image here, that is her.
The strategic blunders of the weekend left undeniable consequences. Her signature shoe launch, meticulously timed for what was presumed to be a viewership surge, instead coincided with a disheartening ratings plunge. A stark revelation of the league's profound reliance on Clark. Her "I'm in your city" campaign, rather than asserting dominance, merely broadcast opportunism. Ultimately, her entire marketing framework proved to be precariously built upon another's foundation. This was far more than a failed promotional effort. It was a profound misapprehension of how authentic star power truly operates. Caitlin Clark's monumental appeal isn't a result of brilliant marketing. Her marketing is brilliant because it merely reflects and amplifies pre-existing genuine excitement. The causal link flows in the exact inverse direction to what Angel Reese appeared to understand. Clark fills arenas not because a brand advises ticket purchases, but because fans possess an innate desire to witness her play. Her signature footwear sells out, not due to clever advertising, but because wearing it establishes a tangible connection to an athlete fans deeply admire. Her games command record viewership, not through aggressive promotional pushes, but because she consistently delivers captivating, must-see basketball.
Man, look, I don't know what the fuck Angel Reese was thinking. She wanted her shoe that just came out a couple months ago. The cost $1,000. Now look, I'm all for athletes getting a shoe deal, having their design, specified, perfect shoe that significant to them and to other fans. But $1,000 for a shoe, love, I love you. I really do. But you definitely been on some shit. Like lately. I'm not going to lie to you. You have. But $1,000, no.
Angel Reese's calculated All-Star Weekend gambit unequivocally demonstrated a profound misjudgment of modern celebrity dynamics. Her premise was that Clark-level fervor could be engineered through strategic marketing, meticulously timed launches, and assertive territorial campaigns. The painful reality she encountered, however, was that genuine organic star power is fundamentally immune to artificial replication via public relations maneuvers. Ultimately, her shoe launch initiative didn't merely underperform, it laid bare the chasm between contrived hype and authentic drawing capability. While Reese blanketed Indianapolis with "I'm in your city" messages, the sole individual truly capable of filling that city's arena was ironically confined to the bench, recovering from an injury. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game will not be recalled for Angel Reese's product debut or her attempted market takeover. Instead, its indelible legacy will be defined by the dramatic unraveling that occurred when the league's preeminent talent was unavailable. The 36% viewership decline, the precipitous drop in ticket values, and the pervasive disappointment served as a stark collective reminder. You simply cannot fabricate star power, nor can you effectively forge an enduring brand by merely existing in another's radiant glow.
Like, she is so bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every shot that you take.
Angel Reese received a harsh, undeniable lesson. Attempts to leverage Caitlin Clark's formidable star power for personal gain are not merely unproductive. They project an undeniable aura of desperation. In an evolving sports landscape where authentic connection with the fan base is paramount, appearing desperate represents the ultimate strategic misstep. The empirical data, from viewership figures to ticket prices, offers an unvarnished truth, and often, the most salient insights aren't gleaned from what actively occurred, but from the void left by what failed to materialize. Specifically, the absence of the individual everyone truly came to observe. This All-Star Weekend emphatically confirmed that Angel Reese cannot and will not be Caitlin Clark. Any strategy predicated on imitation or parasitic proximity is inherently unsustainable. While some vital lessons unfold on the court, others are delivered with brutal clarity in the unforgiving marketplace. This particular truth was broadcast to millions who, in the absence of the genuine star, simply chose to disengage.